Hey everybody, it is Blake and we are starting the podcast. We are starting the podcast. Yeah, and with me, my co-host for tonight. Give it up, everybody. Give it up for John Fortnite, guys. It is John Fortnite. What is you?
There we go.
Hey, what is up? What a way to start the pod. Then have an upshot of you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So if you guys don't know, which you probably don't, this is my brother over here. And
I know.
so in an effort to get things out and do things, I've decided that we should talk about our favorite video games. And I think it's a good, people want to talk about that kind of stuff.
It's a good starting point, I think.
It's a good start, definitely, for sure. And we're going to start with a game we love, dear to our hearts, and which is Fallout New Vegas. Gotta love this game.
Gotta love this fucking game. Even got the physical copy right here. I would never get rid of this thing.
For sure. So
For sure.
should we do like a rundown of what it is and then like kind of like go into our favorite parts? I think that'd be
I think so. It's
All
basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I feel like most people do know though, it is the one Fallout 3D game not made by Bethesda,
That's true.
published by Bethesda, but not made by them.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually mostly made by Obsidian, who include some of the people who worked on the original two from Interplay.
Yeah, the ones that were on the computer and everything, they weren't actually.
Yeah, like the old top-down ones they worked on.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's definitely by far the best of the 3D ones. The only problems I can ever see with it all come back to the shitty engine they were forced to use.
For sure.
Because the engine they were using in this was developed for Morrowind, which was released in 2002. The engine. Do you know Skyrim uses that engine? Fallout 4 uses that engine. Bethesda refuses. They just keep updating the same engine. They're like, fuck it. Who cares? Right?
No, it works. No, screw you. All right.
Like, oh, you mean our games have a reputation of being unbelievably broken? Keep fucking using the same engine. Who cares?
You'll have guys in in Skyrim stuff who just like you can't it'll mess up your entire quest. You won't be able to accept it.
Their AI just shuts off.
And it'll be a main quest too. It won't even be like a dumb side quest. It's like a main quest that you're not allowed to do anymore. And you're like, oh well, can't finish this.
I was gonna say, learning the third word of Fusro Da in Skyrim is always a fucking dice roll for me.
Every time.
Sometimes it works fine. Sometimes it just fucking doesn't.
It's so great. I think it's like solely depending on if they're outside when you meet them. Like honestly,
Probably, honestly, I don't even know, dude.
Don't even try to accept that quest unless they outside. All right, it's the only way they can do it. It's the only way.
And now I love that one of the solutions is literally to just shout at them and then leave the area for 48 hours and come back and they might be fixed.
What the specific? Like, it's not leave for 48 hours. It is you have to shout at them and then
hit them with a shout and then leave and then come back and they might be fixed. Because anytime I was looking up quest fix, that was like the number one thing.
Just
shout at them. Or just shout at them and come back, and who knows, maybe it'll be fixed.
I don't know, man. This game's broken, but
New Vegas is very impressive because it was made in less than a year.
It was highly rushed.
And Bethesda really screwed over the developers. They were supposed to get a bonus if they got a Metascore critic of 85 at least. Mm-hmm. They got an 84 and did not receive it.
That is stupid. That game.
The only reason it ever is rated that low is because on launch it just was even more broken.
It was
like it hardly worked at all.
I mean,
and it's such a shame.
It's such a shame because the story in this game is amazing. Every side quest, every DLC, every part of this game is amazing to play. It's a brand new world. It's so good.
The themes are amazing. It really, it's something else. Like it's definitely comparable to the first two in terms of writing.
For sure.
Like, the characters are amazing. The story's amazing. the amount of choice you have is pretty amazing.
It's like you can go any direction. It's completely open world, but it doesn't feel lost.
And unlike Fallout 4, the faction you pick actually fucking matters. The endings are wildly different depending on the faction.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's an entirely different ending. And like it's weird because it's so open. Like it's a very open like world, but it doesn't feel lost. Like I don't feel like it's too much.
Yeah.
You can go in any direction, but still it's good. Like
there's not very many empty areas in it. Like everything seems to have a purpose.
Exactly. Like there's always going to be a little bit of a quest if you walk like 5 minutes down the road. Like
or there's something interesting to discover, some unique weapon, or there's a few that like it's used for companion quests.
Yeah.
Like the one for Arcade, who's actually voiced by Zachary Levi.
And that's another thing too. The voice acting in this is amazing.
You have
the first main bad guy, one of the first sub bosses, is voiced by Matthew Perry.
Yep, fucking Benny, baby.
So
you can have sex with him too. There's so many ways to deal with him. You can like trick him and have sex with him, and then like kill him like right afterwards. You can use speech. And I love that the skills in conversations, like there will be a certain check, unlike Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, where it's like, oh, speech checks are just a fucking dice roll. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if your gun skill is 60, you can talk to a gun expert about something, and he might give you a discount or something like that.
It's like directly correlated to your skills. Like they're just like, hey, if your skill's this good, you get to do this.
Yeah, and there's certain dialogue checks. Like I remember in the beginning. And I think they have the best introductory start. Like,
oh yeah, it's so
the whole
good.
Good Springs is its perfect introductory town. It's the perfect instant moral choice because sure, it's technically morally wrong to give the town to the powder gangers, but it's not quite like Fallout 3's first moral choice, which is don't nuke a town or nuke a town, and that's it. The people try to act like that's a deep moral choice. It's like, not really.
Not really.
Do I nuke a town of people who have never wronged me because I've only been out of the vault for 30 minutes? Or do I not nuke them? Like, that's the choice. Whereas in this, it's like, well, these people, sure, they helped me and I could just give their town over and I would get rewarded, especially because this gang is like, they're all across the Mojave. It would be beneficial to me to like give them a town and get good favor with them already.
It certainly makes it easier to where when you're walking down the street, you won't get mugged randomly.
Exactly.
Especially early on.
I think actually the best way to do this, I'm just going to start a new run right now on the podcast.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
I mean, in this game, you start by getting you get shot in the goddamn head
dude.
Immediately.
Yeah.
From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
And I love that this game didn't do the Bethesda thing of, oh, let's have the fucking Brotherhood of Steel be the main good guys because, you know, they were in the first two games. People recognize them. They're hardly even in this game. Like, sure, you do technically have to interact with them at some point, but it's one chapter in one bunker, and that's it.
It's almost nothing, dude. Like
you can wipe them out easy, and nobody misses them really.
They're really weak in this game. Like they're just like under one bunker, and they're just like. And
it's really interesting because they take this different route where they're under a lockdown. They're not allowed out. There's only like one patrol a night, and Veronica that's allowed out.
Yeah.
Something else I think this game did really well. It has two of the companions are gay. But it never.
It's not like pushed on you.
And it's never like, oh, they're only gay to be gay. Like Arcade, I didn't even know it until I used the confirmed bachelor perk one time to get him. I was like, ooh, what's a big strong man? And then at one point he's like, he says something about why haven't some lucky bachelor swept me off my feet? And I was like, oh shit, he's gay.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fair. That's like.
And then Veronica, it's only if you question her and you're like, oh, somebody waiting for you back home. And she's like, oh, yeah, a lover or whatever. And you're like, boyfriend? And she goes, no. And you actually you meet her girlfriend in Dead Money. I forgot, Christine.
Yep.
Oh, the theme of the DLCs,
Are
like the
great.
fact that they all tie
Fantastic.
together. Literally, the only
Fantastic.
DLC that doesn't tie in is Honest Hearts with Joshua Graham. But I think Joshua
But that's
Graham
the
is a cool
first
enough
one and
character.
the easiest. So it's like,
Yeah. Actually, that technically the first one released was Dead Money. I looked at I was like really big. I think then it was Old World Blues, which makes sense because those two are like super connected. You find Elijah's stuff in Big Mountain all the time.
yeah.
And you find Christine's logs and even the Ulysses and everything setting up to that final
The final one,
Ulysses.
and it's so good.
In the Divide, dude, holy shit! Like,
And it was hard too. It was fucking fantastic.
oh yeah, dude, the Divide is fucking difficult. Like, holy
Difficult,
shit!
for sure.
I played this game so many times. I always play on the hardest difficulty now. I'm tempted to do a fucking hardcore run, but
Oh man, that's one you just like kind of want to just get the achievement, so you're just like running through like a canister, just like
that's one of those where you want to fucking kill yourself because bullets weigh something now. You can't have like 8,000 bullets and just be like, oh, I'm chilling.
Well, you can, but you're gonna have one gun. That's it.
Yeah, that's your gun. Hope you don't fucking run any threats that gun is useless against.
I hope you like this one because this is it.
And I think like mini nukes weigh like a pound or two each. It's like, oh my fucking god.
Everything weighs a very reasonable amount, except the mini nuke. Why does it only weigh a pound? That is.
Yeah, you think. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna try to recreate Jeffrey Epstein in Fallout New Vegas.
There we go. There we go.
Very old.
Do they have the kid? Is the kid farm on this one?
Hold it right there, mister! Don't take another step or we'll blow your fucking head off. You're big, and I don't have any big friends. You better just go out the way you came in.
You know, it's funny, in the original, in Fallout 2, you could actually kill children. Like, it was frowned upon, obviously, but you could.
Yeah, no shit. Well, like this is a top-down, doesn't count.
You could become a prostitute in the second Fallout game. Like, become a porn star, like, literally.
Do you think it's just because it turns 3D? You're like, as soon as they go to the 3D, they're like,
Yeah, they're like, we can't be showing that. And I think also because it's just bigger audience and all that.
That is true. They definitely widen their base for sure.
Because not many people have played the original Fallouts. Like, by now, a good amount of people have, but even now, still people don't really. It's kind of hard to get into, and I understand it.
Yeah.
But I think everybody should at some point, simply because the writing is fucking amazing. Like, dude, the villain in the first game, the Master.
Mm-hmm. Peak.
You know he's voiced by the same dude who voiced Winnie the Pooh. The Master has 2 voice actors. It's a female and a dude, and they're doing 3 voices total. And the dude doing the 2 dude voices is fucking Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. It's fucking
Can you
crazy.
imagine the mastermind just being like, oh gosh.
And then you got Ron Perlman in all of the games except the 4th one doing the war. War never changes.
Never changes. It's so good. Oh man, the trailers for these games are amazing too. Like,
that slow zoom out from the fucking TV, because they've been doing that since the first game. Like that was a tradition from the first game, and it's like, whew.
It's good. It's good.
And it's such a unique presentation too. Like, I feel like the newer games have kind of focused a little too much on the 40s aspect, like in the wrong way. Like, there's like, oh, silly 40s music while you're shooting things. Whereas the original games, a lot of it was more about the kind of Cold War mentality. Because that's the whole point of think about it. The original game was made in like 95, I think. Cold War was still pretty fresh on people's minds.
We were getting right out of it. We were starting to go into Afghanistan. Like, that was the first Iraq part. So it's right around that time. And so, that makes sense. And you would write some like communist propaganda thing, like just having it. Fight them. Don't worry about it. I mean, just every part of this game just is great. I mean, the gameplay is probably the worst part, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Fallout 4 definitely has like it maneuvers a lot better, but it is garbage. It is garbage.
The writing is so bad, and the talking in that game, where it's like it's basically just Mass Effect like style talking. Ugh.
Bad. It's bad. It is so bad.
especially since it boils down to yes, no. Ask a question and then yes. That's every dialogue tree in the game. Yes,
And it's like,
no. Like, oh.
And it's like, it doesn't, like, it'll be one of the things where you pick it and then it'll be like completely different than what you actually wanted to
it
say.
just says one word. It's just like,
Yeah.
it says sarcastic, and you're like, well, what the fuck is he gonna say?
Bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. Like, what?
I'll even give Fallout 3 credit in the fact that, like, at least you knew what your character was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, it just wrote out everything for you. But it's just so they don't have to do as much writing or as much thinking. Because if there's one thing Bethesda likes to do, it's to streamline the process of making games.
For sure.
I'm worried about the next Elder Scrolls game, bro. I don't even
know.
Especially after 76 went the way it did. Gotta remember, never believe a word Bethesda says about anything. They said Fallout 3 had 300 different endings.
It's
Everything,
not one. What the fuck?
everything just works. When he was talking about fucking Fallout 4, that is one of the like most memed lines I've ever seen. Like from out of any video game ever. Just everything just works.
Everything just works. Everything just works.
Now, I didn't play any of like the Fallout 4 DLCs, but I played all of the New Vegas ones.
Yes. The Fallout 4 DLC are really not even. I mean, they released like 6, I think, and 3 of them were just stuff for your settlements, like your just settlement expansions.
That's another thing too. I do not like the settlement building.
I think you might have played the first one, the Mechanist one, where they bring back the Mechanist. It's such a small quest. I mean, it's only a $10 DLC, so it's not too bad. But
okay, that's not bad. Yeah.
And it gives you the ability to create your own robot companions. That one wasn't too bad. I was like, okay, I could see this going somewhere.
Right. I can get into this.
And then they did Far Harbor, which is the only one that has a separate map. Even Fallout 3, every single DLC was a separate map except Broken Steel, which just continued the main story.
Yeah.
But even then, that one still had you go outside of the map for like 1 or 2 missions in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Far Harbor was okay. I didn't really care. Like,
dude, Fallout New Vegas, we cared about every single DLC. Mm-hmm. Every single one was.
In Dead Money, you care about the companions you're with like a lot. Mm-hmm. They start to really mean something to you.
Yes.
All the companions, I think.
Dude, that's the only. Big Iron is amazing. The bad guys.
The soundtrack, yeah.
So good. So randomly awesome. Like,
and I love the fact that there's no really clear-cut bad guys. Because, yes, you could say Caesar is a bad guy, but when you actually sit down and talk with him about why he does the things he does, he gives a pretty decent explanation. He's like...
It's decent, yeah. I mean, it's not...
He's like, democracy and all that is what got us here. And the NCR is just trying to recreate the old world government. That's not going to work. We live in different times.
I mean, that's always the key to a good bad guy. Is bad guys have to start with premises that make sense, right? Like,
because
they come to the wrong conclusion, but the premise still makes sense.
To me, it's just so interesting because he's portrayed as this fucking evil, unredeemable piece of shit asshole. And when you actually play the game and you talk to him, you're like, well, I guess I kind of see his point because he's at least somewhat right about what he talks about.
Yeah, for sure. And I also like the fact that we give no respect to any clan member that only goes by melee weapons. No respect. no respect. Going against guys with guns and you're wearing a Legion hat? Are you kidding me right now, bro? You're wearing iron plates? Get out of here, bro.
No, they use repurposed sports equipment. That's what it is. Like they use like fucking shoulder pads and crap.
Meanwhile, there's ray guns. Like,
yeah,
we can shoot lasers, and these guys are like, I went to a Dick's. And...
That's why when fucking Caesar is like, hey, you have to go kill the Brotherhood of Steel. It's like, why don't you fucking send your guys to do it? Oh, wait. That's because
you can't. You literally can't.
You love killing a fucking dude and power him with throwing spears. Yeah. I think I dented it.
No, and then just machine gun, laser, rail gun. Get destroyed. Get destroyed. Oh my god. And then the one after that is the casino one, which is just like a heist movie where everybody has a bomb strapped to their neck. Like, it's good.
Dead Money was really good. And Dead Money to me was really interesting because it completely changed the gameplay. They made it like a survival horror game because you have none of your shit. You have the ghost people, which are ghost people, which are fucking terrifying and annoying as shit. You have the smoke, like the fog that will poison you.
Mm-hmm. That's what made the great game great. They changed it.
The beeping speakers. I've been more mad at this game. Like I did a run through like 2 months ago, and I fucking every time I died to a speaker, I wanted to fucking kill myself. I was so mad. I got
beeped to death, man. This thing sucks.
Yeah, because you just hear you're like beep, beep, beep.
You're like, oh shit.
And you're like, oh fucking Christ.
Oh shit. Oh Christ. God, that was good. All right, and then what was the one after that? So we had the one in the what was the one in the valley with what one was that called?
It was Honest Hearts.
Honest Hearts. That
with
one
Joshua Graham. That one was good. I like the tribal stuff. Had some good themes to it, and I think Joshua Graham's an interesting enough character to kind of carry the whole thing.
That is true. And
he's definitely a quotable character. Holy shit, he's cool.
I do like in the updates how like anytime you're talking to him, he's like unloading and reloading ammo.
Yeah, yeah. They had to like make a whole new animation for him, like doing the gun, like reloading shit, like cleaning the guns and shit. I think that was really cool. Come on, Doc Mitchell, let me out already. Let me out. Walking so slow.
All right, what other ones were there?
Then you had the funniest one with the wacky one, which is the fucking Big Empty.
Yeah.
With the fucking are those penises on his hand?
Now it's holding up an array of fully erect hand penises.
That is one of the I fucking love that one.
It turns out all of them are just like hemped up on the main bad guy is just a scientist that's like hemped up on like
on Mentat. He's some like relaxed dude. He's like, oh hey, what's up? And you're like,
oh crap, dude, I was probably doing chems that time, man. Oh.
Yeah, and you're like, you're not at all what I expect you to be. And he's like, oh, what did you expect me to be? And you're like, and you like describe it to him. He's like, oh, that's crazy.
Wow, damn.
Like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. It's like basically it's like imagine like the smartest scientist had just unlimited amounts of cocaine and make him the bad guy.
I like the fact that like he's doing because he's like trying to keep the other people contained because they're way too dangerous to be let out. Yeah. Because they'll just start experimenting on people. I mean, Night Stalkers, for crying out loud, they made cazadors.
In this, you find out they made many of like the bad creatures in the game, including a wolf with a snake's head?
That's the fucking Night Stalker, and some of the Night Stalkers can turn invisible. The mutated ones up in Jacobstown that were eating stealth boys.
Snake head, wolf body.
Yeah.
And then you had cazadors.
Boris, the guy who does it, he's like, I preserved coyote DNA and put it right where it belongs in the genome of another deadly animal, the python, or it's rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake, yep. Oh, and then they have cazadors, which are like wasps the size of humans that will kill you. They will kill you
because if you don't have anti-venom, they will kill you.
They'll kill you. They'll ruin your whole day. Your whole day. They also had robo-scorpions. That's nice.
Oh, the robo-scorpions.
Robo-scorpions. Robotic scorpions the size of humans. Like
they explode after you fucking kill them, which is annoying. Yeah, I always forget that, and then I'm reminded of it when I fucking almost get killed by one. I'm like, oh my god.
Hit it 3 times. You're like, all right. Oh.
Yeah. Like it's dead, and you're like, okay, I can move on. You're like, oh, never mind.
No. Yeet. Yeet. Oh man. And then the final one is the Divide, right? That
Yeah,
one is epic. It's epic because the entire game has been like
building up to it. I
building
mean,
up to this.
even if you don't have any of the DLCs installed, you still get a mention of Ulysses from when you're talking to Johnson Nash about your delivery, and he literally says, "I hope a storm from Divide comes and rips his skin off or something," and you're like, "Oh shit!" And when you talk to the scientist people from Big Empty, they talk about Ulysses as well because he went there at one point.
Ulysses is like he has the same job as you, and like he's gone through all the areas you have. Like he's gone through the same adventures. It's essentially like fighting another version of yourself.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how they did it.
It also makes your character seem more real. You know?
Yeah,
you're not a god. Like
because
like in most Bethesda's games, you're a god.
You're everything.
You're everything.
In Skyrim, you're the listener. You're the Dragonborn. You're the Nightingale. You're the fucking leader of the Thieves Guild. You become the leader of the Dawn Guard. Like it's every
storyline is involved in you running stuff.
Yeah. And like, New Vegas, yes, your character is very important, but you're not the key to everything. Like it feels like this world would have kept going.
Existed without
if my character had died, this world would have kept going. But
there was events in place regardless of whether you're there or not, you know? And that makes it feel more...
Oh man, the power's out. Oh god, what do we do? Well, I think we should just get to the end and just let everybody know that we're gonna do a part 2 next week. Yeah, this seems like a really convoluted way to just let people know that there's gonna be a part 2 next week, but we're gonna go with it. Like and subscribe.